you ever look back on it and go, I can't believe I was such a part of the early part of who would end up being one of the most influential artists in music history?
Well, I don't think of it that way because I've been involved with a lot of them, you know. But I just feel it's lucky, you know, in a way, and it's lucky that I'm happy for them because I know how hard it is, you know. But he had tremendous powers behind him as well. Motown, you know, I mean that's big artillery to get you there, you know. And so that was fortunate. I think, you know, I hear these stories about his dad being domineering and all that. I never saw that. I was at their home a couple of times, and I saw Mom. I knew Mom well, and I have a feeling she was kind of the matriarch, you know, and I don't think she would have allowed anything, much of that at all. But I mean, kids need discipline, obviously. But Mike was just a natural. I mean, it was like a gift from heaven or something, really. I mean, he just knew. You know? It's like Napoleon. Who taught Napoleon? Nobody, you know. Like that.
Do you have any favorites from the Jackson 5? Any favorite songs?
Billie Jean is #1 in my favorite book. I like Thriller to some extent, but I think Billie Jean really. And then Got to Be There. I like that one.
Why Billie Jean?
Because the kid is not my son. You know that lyric. No, I don't know. I mean, why? I mean, same. You know, you say, well, why do you like this star? Maybe why not that one? I mean, it's just a chemistry, really, I think.
Any particular stories from talking with the kids that you particularly like to tell?
Yeah, we did their first photo shoot. That was one of the things that I did a lot. I didn't shoot the stuff, but I would be sure of that what I needed we got. Henry Diltz, who on a par with Annie Leibovitz, and he's that big today even. I don't know if you remember the Jim Morrison Hotel cover album. He shot that, and many other Eagles, Crosby, Stills and Nash, and I mean, you name it, you know. And he did a great job. But when they did it up at my house in the Hollywood Hills, I'm working on a book right now about all this called Under the Hollywood Sign, and there's hopefully a little humor there in it. And we shot it in my patio out there, where you could just look over and see the Hollywood sign, you know. And I had a cat called Mustard, a yellow cat that didn't like anybody. But he liked Michael. So I've got a lot of pictures somewhere and tape, if I could just find it, of Michael and Mustard, you know, and my daughter, 16 at that time, with Jermaine and stuff like that, you know. But it was fun to shoot at the house, you know. And as I look back on those days, and then I look over Michael's physical changes over the years, I never quite understood it, because it's another example of what happens with many stars in Hollywood. They have it all. They have looks, they have talent, they have management, they have wealth, and they still go down, you know, and you wonder why, you know.
Anything else you want to say, really, about Michael Jackson?
Unless it's the psychological theory that's being proposed now on, I think, your network, that says that what you don't get as a child, you keep looking for as an adult. So evidently he didn't get a chance to be a kid very much, you know. So then we have, what do we have? Neverland and all that, right? And then he gave over millions of dollars to his foundation, which helps children around the world, you know. And yet he felt he had to look white, and I thought his changes were good up to a certain point, and he had it perfect around the time of Billie Jean, and then he started to become a white woman, you know, which was bizarre to say the least. But again, it didn't seem to, his fans didn't seem to care. I mean, he had an eclipse of his career towards later, but that's just in America. I mean, his appeal was demonstrated to me just a few years ago. I created a computer program, it was a research program. And I had it programmed in Russia. And I found on the internet this company in a town called Chelyabinsk. Now, we have 4 time zones. Russia has 11 time zones. It's that big. Chelyabinsk is 5 time zones east of Moscow. I found this lady, young lady, 22 or 3, who was the English front piece for this company. As I got to know her, I find out she's a nut for Michael Jackson. And she shows me pictures of her room where she's got all these Michael Jackson posters, and she's got a Michael Jackson fan club and all this. And this is way out there in the Urals where the snow is 20 feet deep sometimes, you know. Michael Jackson. So for some reason he reached out to everyone, and she didn't care if it was white or green or what he was.
Ever talk with Michael, ever throughout
We would run into each other once in a while, you know, and there was this one place that, little incident I remember. There's a little barbecue place in Hollywood, just below Hollywood Boulevard, but near Cahuenga, and nothing, you know, half the size of this room, and a good barbecue. There was this Paiute Indian guy who was one of the servers. He'd go up for the counter and he'd give you the sandwich. He had the most phenomenal memory. If I was gone once for 2 years, came back, he knew what I wanted, as long as you didn't change it. And so I was in there one day, and Michael came in the door, and so I got him in line in front of me. We went up there, and this guy looks at Michael. He says, "Pulled pork, easy on the ketchup, no pickles." He was right. Hadn't seen Michael for years, since he was, you know, a kid. He remembered. Michael couldn't get over it. He was really entertained by that. Yeah. Neither did her girlfriends. So, you know, people want to maybe criticize him, and they want to accuse him of hideous stuff, which I don't believe. My recommendation would be that if you care for an act or a celebrity, just accept them as they are. Don't listen to criticisms. Don't criticize. Either you like him or you don't. If you don't like him, turn away from him. If you do, accept him as he is and enjoy it, because nobody's perfect, right? And so if you can just accept people as they are, whether it's for Hollywood or your daily life, and then you can love them.